here? I look like
she's having a moment with her hair.
I realized this is what I did the other day. I was doing that training, and I kept looking over here when the camera's over there. They're used to us starting like this.
Yes, they are. So, and people are still popping on. So, hold on. Let me share this stuff.
Okay, hurry.
Oh, don't rush me. I'll do me when I want to do me. Huh. Really?
Oh my God.
Ay. I'm getting a new co-lead. Please don't.
I do some hands up.
So, today's topic is...
Come on, 3rd grade.
No. Don't short sell yourself by just talking your talk. Hold on. I can't multitask. I can, but right in this moment.
You're sucking.
I'm not sucking, actually. Okay. Are you guys... I'm Madison Bell, and this is my crazy co-lead, Kendall Williams, and we are here on Free Spirit Talks today.
Are you going to do all my talking for you?
No. No.
Dang it.
Nope.
Dang it. Okay, fine.
You gotta talk as well.
Okay. Are you good? Are you done?
I'm not done. I'm working on it. There's a lot of places to share this too. Post. Sharing again.
We're sorry for the delay.
Share to a
Addison
page.
just isn't very fast this morning. She didn't drink enough coffee.
Actually, I drank too much coffee. I kind of feel like Tigger today. I'm like,
It's true. You walked into my house saying that you were a Tigger.
I'm like,
I do not.
the wonderful thing about Tigger is... Sorry.
I could make so many comments right now. I'm not gonna.
And yes, my hair is all red.
That's
Screw you. Screw you. I can't get kicked off Facebook for saying screw you. So, screw you. I know. My hair is orange. Thank you.
I have a
For
Tigger
pointing that out.
costume.
No. It's shared.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so today we're talking about...
Don't short sell yourself by just talking your talk.
Yeah,
and not walking your walk. So we were discussing that a lot of times we end up just giving a lot of things mouth service.
Yeah.
But we don't actually step all the way in and do everything needed.
Yeah, and we use a lot of excuses for the reasons why we can't do the things.
Well, we're busy and tired.
And we've got kids.
Yeah, we got kids. I mean, yeah, lots of kids and tired and exhausted and the holidays.
And it's really important to do self-care.
Is it?
It's important to do self-care, so
yes, it is.
Let's not stress ourselves out. Because that would be me stressing yourself out is bad, really pushing.
Well, the reason I can't do it is because I'm too stressed out.
Oh yeah. I don't have the money.
I know. Yeah.
I'm broke.
Yeah. Broke.
I'm broke.
I have to take care of, all this other stuff out here. When I'm debt free, then I can do it.
But it's my priority. It's my priority. But
when I feel better, when I feel better, when I've taken the time and I'm like, I got the body that I want and I got enough savings and all my bills are paid up, I don't have no more debt. And then
when you're motivated too.
Yeah, when I'm motivated.
When you're motivated.
I gotta get motivated. I just don't know how to do it.
Not feeling motivated.
Not feeling, no. All right, so motivation is bull. Motivation, if you wait for motivation will never come to you. It's never ever. What the heck did somebody put down here? What is that? Are those pussycats? Huh? Can I get away with that?
Yeah, you can. They are pussycats. It's like, hold on, they're gonna get really close to my face. I'm not okay with that. Paw prints and I think those are pussies.
Okay, well.
Awesome.
I don't know what that means though. Anyway,
walking your walk. Walking the walk.
All right. Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
There we go. We'll keep it clean.
So, No, so there's all these excuses, and that's what they are. They're reasons and there's excuses. And, a lot of times we don't want to call them excuses. We'll say, well, I have my reasons. I want to get motivated. I want to do this, all this blah, blah, blah stuff. And the reality to all of the reasons is that they are excuses. And as long as we just keep saying, I want to do, it's my priority, it's my this, it's my that. Mm-hmm. You can say it all day long, but your actions speak louder than your words. And that is the really big thing. I mean, there's so much working with couples. I'll have a couple come in and one of them will say, this is, my relationship. Our relationship is my priority. Did you do your homework? Have you had time to do this? Did you go out on a date? Did you spend 30 minutes a week with your partner? Oh, no, I don't have time for that. Yeah. I don't have time. If you don't have time for whatever you're proclaiming as a priority in your life, whether that is your health, increasing your finances, getting out of debt, spending, building a relationship, doing some mindset practices, well-being practices, spiritual practices, whatever that is, combination of all of it together. Expansion process to really work through your crap and to up-level your life. If you're just saying that's a priority, but you're not actually taking those steps, then FYI, that's not it.
It's not a priority. We like to say we have these priorities, but the truth is you can very easily figure out where your priorities lie. And
look at what you're doing.
Yeah, look at what you're doing. Look at your time. Looking at where you actually are spending your money. Because the truth is, Starbucks is most people's priority above their personal growth.
Oh, heck yeah.
It's a priority for them to get Starbucks coffee versus going and taking, this workshop, this whatever, that could expand them. So that tells you your priority is actually just in your comfort zone.
A couple weeks ago, I was running a promo. For my workshop that I've got going on over the next few weeks for guys. And I did this sales thing on my profile, and I offered up, I think it was $1,400, because I was giving away $1,400 worth of free content for anybody who signed up at the reduced price. So I was giving away this 14. So I put a thing up on my Facebook profile, and I said, would you take 4 weeks to work on yourself if you were being given $1,400? Oh, yeah. And multiple people said, what do I have to do over the next 4 weeks to have that? I mean, I'm going, all right, now number one, I obviously, do you have to jump off of a bridge or a building? Well, no, but within reason, right? The whole thing is and I think I worded it would you spend the next 4 weeks doing self-improvement, working on yourself, if you were given $1,400? And a lot of people were like, well, I don't know, maybe. You would not even if you were paid to do it, not that I'm actually going to pay you to do that, because guess what? I'm not going to give a rat's behind enough about your growth to do that. You need to step in to it or not. But it was just shocking to me that a lot of people were even closed off to doing their own personal stuff, even if money was on the table.
Yeah, I mean, we occasionally, I know during our work, some workshops and stuff, occasionally we will tithe even to people, and they're like, nah, sorry, I'm not into it. I'm not into going to doing that free whatever. And I'm like, you say, you're verbalizing yes, I want this, yes, I want this, yes, I want this, but
I don't even take up an opportunity.
You don't take,
because it's not about. At the end of the day, it should never be about a price. It should always be about what you're getting, the value of whatever you're getting. And, it's whether that is, it can be self-growth, and self-growth really is, I think, all encompassing here. So I'm going to just lean on that term of self-growth, because that can be you going to the gym and getting on a right diet plan and working out. That can be relationship stuff. That can be, spiritual stuff, that can be work-related stuff, that can be advanced education, whatever it is, or it can be the whole dynamic of self-improvement, self-growth. But it really is just coming down to what is the value of what you're getting? And if you don't value something, so if you really don't value health, if you really don't value well-being, if you really don't value joy, happiness, if you don't value expansion, mental, spiritual, emotional growth, then obviously it's not worth anything. So why even bother, right? But then why give it even the mouthpiece of like, this is something that I value. Like, I really want to do this, or I really want to do that. Because, you know, most successful people, the highest successful people, will read on average 4 books a month. 4 books a month. Mm-hmm. Self-improvement books, not fiction books, not romance novels, not the magazines, not newspapers, but 4 personal growth books. Books that expand you mentally, emotionally, spiritually, that break you out of your mental comfort zones and expand.
Yeah.
And bare minimum, 1 book a month. Okay?
Yeah.
Bare minimum. 1 to 4 books is what is required. That takes some time. Takes dedication, takes time, takes focus, might take a little bit of finances. I mean, what, 10, 15 bucks, 20 bucks a book. But that happens. And I know that, like, in any of my big growth curves, like, I'll start on journaling practices.
Yeah.
That's another one. Journaling practices, meditation practices, reading practices, exercise practices, focusing in on health and well-being practices.
Just what you're feeding yourself in all forms.
Right.
Food, mental.
Right. Mental, emotional, physical, spiritual, food. It all comes down to that. And that means that you've got to put in the time for that. That's doing that walk. Like, what are the practices?
But I think also it really is. It can be little pieces of time, and you're just not making that a priority. Because I mean, like, you mentioned like 4 books a month. Well, some people might hear that and go like, that's so much time. But the truth is, I give like, go listen to this 10-minute YouTube video on, you know, law of attraction, meditation. I'm sorry if you can't fit in 5 or 10 minutes into your day, then you are not your priority. Your growth is not your priority. Your comfort zone, your Candy Crush, your Netflix, your whatever, which is your comfort, is that priority. And I think also it's not always even just about time, because I think some people could go like, oh, well, see, like, you're not spending enough time with me, so I'm not your priority. But it also is the quality of what you're putting into it. So if I could listen to Abraham Hicks meditations all day long, but if I'm not actually tuning in and really soaking it in and allowing myself to feel it at my core, it's worthless. It's worthless. It's not going to do anything. The same thing with journaling practices. So I got some crazy hair situation going on. I'm like, can't get it right today. Sorry, I'm not used to this color. So it's like funky.
You're bright.
I know I'm bright. Please.
But no, I mean, I know that both of us give practices out all the time. A lot of the work that I do with people will be to hand out anywhere from 1 to 5 minute practices.
Yeah.
And they're practices that can be done on the go. So a lot of it can be done while you're driving,
going to the
bathroom, during, you know, like brushing your teeth, taking a shower, before sleep, all this kind of stuff. So a lot of this stuff, I'll try to get people into this habit of getting into a nice, comfortable self-improvement growth creation process morning and evening, with like a couple things in between, and I'll have them set alarms on their phone. I'll have them do all this different stuff to help build that. Because if you wait for, well, I'll do that, I'll start that when I get motivated, I'll do this when I get motivated, I'll, you know, when I think about it, I just don't have, and I hear that a lot, like, well, I just didn't think about it. Well, no, duh, none of us think about it, but that's right. It's like the phone you can set reminders on there left and right to like, hey, you know, take right now in the next, you know, stop right now and do 3 good deep breaths. Close eyes, do 3 good deep breaths. Like, that's one of those things that takes 30 seconds.
Yes. And if it is important to you enough, I'm sorry, but if it's important enough, you're not going to forget it. If it's important enough to you, you're not going to consistently forget it. Yes, we all have, like, things happen, but
days get crazy.
Yes, days get crazy, but for the most part, you're not going to forget it if it is that important to you. If you are really driven, if you are really wanting it, I don't care how crazier days get if you are consistently not doing it, you're consistently forgetting it, then it wasn't your freaking priority to begin with.
No.
And I see this with money too, and I think people get a little bit more kind of up in arms when it comes to money, because I think they're like, well, no, but the money isn't there, and so it's just not there, and so you, like, that doesn't fit. And I think, I think there is, like, okay, well, maybe that is too big, but that doesn't mean you can't move towards something. So if somebody right now said, like, I have a $50,000 program that you should buy, I would probably go, I really probably can't do that. Like, if I'm on it, like, right in this moment, like, that's probably extending out of my belief system. For right this moment. $50,000. But I can still make the $3,000 program a priority. I can still step
or $500 program.
Or $500. Like, and I'm using the term program, but I think this goes for coaching, programs, workshops, books you have to buy, really whatever you need to do to kind of step up. The yoga class, the food, the organic food you need to bring into your home, all of that, those pieces, I think it's easy to go, I don't have the money, but you will find a way to get to where you're going if you just make it a priority.
And you can see what it's so, I was just last night, because you were over for Easter for a little bit.
Funny.
And we were talking about, I think it was last night we were talking about this, but we were talking about, that maybe it was another day. I can't remember. My whole weekend is kind of squished together. But I just remember us having the conversation because I made some comment about people going to the bar and spending $200-$300 bar tab. But because I just recently had somebody say that they can't afford my services, but they go out to the bar and spend $200-$300 a couple times a week, and they're and that's food and drinks just to blow off steam, and that's fine and dandy, but in reality, what are you getting from just blowing off steam for $200-$300 by going to the bar? How is that really truly changing your life picture versus getting in there and maybe not needing the alcohol anymore to offset, to decompress, and learning other techniques that don't cost money, that are actually healthy and beneficial to your being, that might actually get you to make more money instead of spending more money. Because I can tell you that my perspective on coaching is that I don't babysit. I don't babysit. I don't want you to be my client forever. There's no joy in you being a client for a lifetime. You can be my friend. You can be, you might pop in my world, do workshops, take different programs and stuff from me. But I really don't want somebody for a lifetime. I want to help them get in there, access their deeper self, expand, grow, create this amazing world. And my goal is like 3 months to 12 months, and then bye birdie, like fly free. Let me see you flap your wings and go do freaking amazing things. And that's like that's the goal for me. And I love witnessing my clients do that. But the clients that do that get in there, they get dedicated and they're willing to actually walk the walk instead of just giving that lip service. And a lot of the times, like this one particular person that just came to me, they were just like, no, I can't afford you. But know each other outside of this world, right? The online world and coaching and everything. I'm like, but there they are. They're like $400 a week spent at the bar. And I sit there going, what the heck? Like, you're doing all of this, so don't come bitching to me about like, when I'm not making enough money. I'm not, my relationship is crashing. My health is crashing. This is going on in my world, with my work, with my kids, with my blah, 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 when your priority is the bottle. Because if your priority is the bottle, then your priority is the bottle. And I know that I might be hitting on a touchy spot there. Leave it to me to do that. But it really is the truth that we do rely on those outside sources, that decompression time.
Drugs, alcohol, food.
Yeah.
Social media, Netflix, and I know we're on social media right now, but still, like, the random scrolling of, like, nothing, for nothing.
It's like, how many times, one of the biggest things that I have my clients work through is that I'll say in the morning, what are you doing with that first hour of your day, right?
So important.
And a lot of the times what people do is their very first thing is to reach over, they grab their phone, and they scroll through their email, they scroll through their social media feeds, they do this, they do that, and they just lay there, and it's an hour, and that's how they choose to wake up. To kind of like, they're like, well, I'm hitting
everybody else.
Right. They're seeing everybody else's stuff. I'm catching the news. I'm like, why do you want to start your day with all that negative stuff anyway? Like, do you want your day to be charged positive or negative on the front side? Careful what goes into your being the first 3 hours of your waking, because that is exactly what you're going to pretty much program yourself for the rest of the day with. So stay away from your email, stay away from social media. You'll notice you don't really see me unless I'm on doing conscious coffee first thing in the morning. I'm on doing my conscious coffee and then I'm off. And that is it.
Or you're writing on.
Right.
On,
or I'm writing.
But you're not scrolling.
But I can tell you what, that if I'm writing an article that I have already done my meditation, I have already done my personal journaling, I have already done some breath work, I've already been outside, I've done all the personal care mindset stuff that I do consistently every single day before I actually open up my social media. And I sure the heck don't go to my email unless somebody has texted me with, like, it has to be dealt with right now. Then obviously I will pause, but I will go directly for that particular topic, whatever that is, and I ignore everything else. And then I hit my email after lunchtime. And I know that anybody in my world, I'm the same way with my text messages. People get irritated all the time with, like, why aren't you answering me? I'm like, well, don't talk to me before 9 o'clock. You're more than welcome to message me, and I will catch you after 9 a.m. And you know what? And if you're dying before 9 a.m., well, you should have called 911. So this is like, I know.
That is so you when you say that. If you're dying, you just should have called 911.
Like, I'm not 911.
No.
I'm not. I'm not 911. I'm not 411. I'm not 911. And if you need me before 9 a.m., then you better put in there that this is a 911 instance.
Yeah.
And it better not really be a 911 because somebody
911
else should be telling me that you're in the hospital. You should not be calling me first. But, but I mean, it's setting those priorities for what is to keep your mindset right, to keep your life stable, up-leveled, high vibe. You've got to maintain that energy, and that is really part of doing the walk. Not all of the doing the walk is about spending money. Actually, very little of it is about spending money. It's more about just getting in there and doing the practices, because so much of the practices is just what I just said.
Yeah, and I do the
meditation.
I do
it's breathing.
I might not do it in the exact same order as you, but I do the exact same thing. Like if I'm writing an article, there'll be occasion when something will just like, I'll be doing personal journaling and something will come in and it's like, no, go. And so like, I'll go on, but I sure as heck am not answering all those people who are trying to pop me messages. I'm not even looking at my feed. I'm like Facebook box type.
Right.
But other than those few instances, yes, I'm doing the same thing. And it's all mindset. It's the stretching. And so even like with the money, it's not about the actual money. It's about you stretching yourself. It's about you getting committed to self. It's about you going, I'm going to jump in and I'm going to jump in fully. And sometimes that feels like a stretch.
Yeah.
But I think we really came to this topic today because I think I'm seeing so many people for this year particularly, and I'm not fully understanding it. I think 2018, last year kicked everyone's butts, and this year everyone has kind of gone like, no, I'm going to do my work, and yet I'm seeing a lot of I'm seeing so much laziness, and people going, no, I'm doing it, and I'm like, but you're not doing it. You might be like giving lip service. You might be like going through the actions, but you're not doing it. You're not putting passion in it. You're not hungry for it. And that's my thing. Like, I want my clients to be freaking hungry for it. I want those clients that are like, no, I am a sponge. Keep giving me more moments, because I was like that. And when I want something, that is how I'm like, no, give me more. I want more. Yeah, that was great. I'm going to soak that in. I'm going to let that simmer for a moment. Now give me more. And that is hunger. That is passion. That is you wanting to move forward. Despite whatever bullshit priorities that you're saying.
It really is. I mean, if you bring it to a lover, and I'm like, people can always relate to that, you know, like when we are lustful after somebody, that lustfulness, when we go on a date with somebody and they just really have everything going. Like we are like, ooh, and then we are just thinking about them and we're trying to figure out the best way to connect. And
sorry, I've been on too many dates the last few days and I'm like,
all right,
yeah.
Well, you're trying to figure out how to connect, how to not be too overboard, but how to keep showing interest. And then you get on another date and then you're very present and you're learning about them and you're paying attention to the micro expressions and you're like, wow, I really like how they do that. And hey, they laughed at this. And wow, that's an interesting story. And they're so deep and they're so this. And wow, they're funny. And you know, you're finding all these little things about them. Yeah. And it's just like this adventure because you're in this foreign land with this person and you're learning all this complexity and juiciness and funness and you're turned on and you're passionate about getting to know them, right? And that same energy, that same desire, when we meet somebody new like that, and it doesn't just have to be a romantic thing, we do this with friends too. When we do that, right? Anytime we like really get wrapped up in somebody's energy and just that newness and that learning about that person, we want more of them. I refer to it as like that more flavor. I have an uncle, may his soul be resting in peace, deceased Uncle Pat, who used to say always, you know, oh, it has that more flavor, and he would be talking barbecue or moonshine, but
it's a good, I mean,
but it's that more flavor. It's just like, I want more. Like, hey, I want seconds of that. I want thirds of that. I want fourths of that. And that's the same thing that you'll find with people that are learning and growing and really truly passionate about that self-growth and expansion, that they become addicted and lustful after it. And I know that using the word lust is like a whole thing, but it is that there's a hunger there. And it is, you're lusting after, you're just like, oh, I just want more of that.
And then you might simmer in it for a second, but then you're like, more.
Right.
Like, let me simmer in that.
Ooh, that was really, hey, I implemented this and I implemented that, and that felt really great. And this was awesome. And wow, that was challenging and felt a little overwhelming, but kind of like skydiving, like, whoo, like that, like, whoa, that was a little scary, but
amazing.
It was thrilling, but amazing. And you know, it's just like, you can relate that into relationships so easy. And we've all done it in relationship, but then we'll go, I want this personal change, whatever that might be. And we just say it. And then it's like, so, you know, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. Well, just speaking it will get teachers to appear in multiple formats, right? So it's going to come to you and be offered to you. But often what happens, and I know like what you just said, is that it's just like the voice, but then people are just going, no, 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 no. And I too have seen over this year, self included, I am guilty of it myself, that there is, you know, just this, and I don't know what it is. It's kind of like, yeah, I want to do that, but it dies out so quick. It's like, I just can't keep that simmer there.
Can't keep the more.
I was like, yeah. And I said I wanted to do that, but, you know, tired, this happened, that happened. And the reasons and the excuses.
And we all,
And some of them are dang good reasons and excuses, but I can guarantee you, speaking from a very personal space, that I know that at the end of the year, if I don't get my booty in action and do the things that I proclaim that I really want to do. Actually, last year when I was saying, next year I'm going to boom, 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 boom.
Yep.
If I don't just buckle down and really make the motivation happen, that I'm going to be sitting at the end of the year going, bad Kendall.
Yeah.
You know, like pissed off at myself, and then have to, guess what? Here's the real issue with when we only give something lip service. And this is how we undersell ourselves, where we short sell ourselves on this. Because we short sell ourselves because, number one, we're not expanding, we're not growing. So we're not creating, we're not becoming everything that we can be for this time frame. But then at the end of that cycle, whatever we've given ourselves, because we all have a timeline, we give ourselves this timeline. So I just said at the end of the year, right? I'm going to be like, oh, bad Kendall. Well, guess what that is? I just created a new hurdle for myself.
Yep.
I just created a new roadblock for myself that I now have to overcome my guilt, my shame, my bitterness,
and your
my
patterns.
regret. And I've now created a year long of patterns around this. So now I've got this bigger challenge to overcome for 2020. And that if I just went, I'm just doing this, I'm just doing it. Now I've got to overcome all that other psychobabble that's going to be going on in my head. I mean, going, well, you know, you said that you were going to do this, and now you look at you, you didn't do that, and now you're just a disappointment.
You know,
like, oh, you didn't follow through on that, because that's the kind of internal vocabulary that we end up having with ourselves, and it's just self-defeating, self-sabotage crap. And sure, you can just change it like that, but it's a lot harder to do than that. It just is.
Yeah.
It just is.
Yeah, and I think so many people have gotten so ingrained in the patterns too that they don't even actually see that they can change it. Like that they can step in, that they can just make a choice to make those changes.
And when you get stuck in a pattern, you know,
Hard.
it really is if you look back at the last year of your life, did you like it? Did you do everything that you wanted? Are you happy with everything that you... She knows where I'm going with this. If you look back at the last year of life, are you happy with your growth, with what you've created, with what you've done for yourself? Because that's the patterns that you're going to carry forward over the next year unless you do something to do it. And then take it a step further. Look back over the last 5 years of your life. Are you happy with the last 5 years of your life? Because the next 5 years of your life could easily be duplicated from the last 5 years if you consistently do what you have been doing. So you can say,
and
yeah,
that could
but
be
that's
for the better
uncomfortable.
too, though.
It can be for
if
the
you're
better.
like, because like I just heard 5 years and I went, actually, I've had a good
You had a
5
good
years
run.
of change.
Yeah, good. You're on a 5
I had
years,
like
right.
I've had so much transformation in 5 years. It's been amazing, but also if I continue, the last year hasn't necessarily been as amazing as the whole 5 years.
Right. So if you look at that, so it's like you've got to catch those patterns, because otherwise they become your comfort zones. And the magic, the miracles never happen in the comfort zone. They always happen outside of that comfort zone, and you've got to just kind of buckle down and...
A child went outside. The girl
It's
child.
like, whoa,
The girl child.
There's a ghost for real. No, but it really is just those patterns. I mean, a lot of it is just if you're not happy with the last 5 years of your life, then you better make a shift right now and change. And that is going to feel uncomfortable. It's going to feel edgy and risky and scary, and it's going to push you in every way that you can imagine.
Yeah.
And I mean every single way. That it's going to be physically, mentally,
And more stuff's going to come in to get in your
financially,
way.
spiritually, and you are going to, anytime you go to make a shift, it's true, anytime you go to make a shift, it's one of those things of like everything underneath the sun will come in and try to sabotage you. It'll say it's like the universe, God is saying, are you sure you want this? Are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure? I remember last year I signed up for a nice pricey mentorship in April.
Yeah,
I did this in April, and not 3 weeks in on me, I really buckled down. I was doing a juice cleanse, and I signed up for a hefty, we're talking tens of thousands, like mentor stuff going on, and I decided I was going to change my whole coaching practice, and I was going to do all this different stuff, and I had all this travel booked, and I was going to do everything, and 3 weeks in, my whole world blew up. It literally flipped upside down on me. I ended up like having this boom!
You blew your stuff up.
Everything changed. My house changed. My relationships changed. My car changed. Everything changed. But you know what I didn't do? I didn't stop doing what I was doing. what I did was I really just focused in more.
Yeah.
And I focused in more despite all the crap.
And I think really also walking your talk is a consistency too. Like, yes, you could do it for a week, but it is that when you know, because we all fall off of things. We notice we start slacking, and then talking your talk is going, no, like this, like I'm gonna keep doing this. I'm gonna move back in, noticing when you are kind of falling off of your word to yourself. And then also, if you consistently find yourself saying things like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do this, yeah, I want this is a priority, and you're not doing it, that isn't a time for you to really look within and go, okay, is this aligned? Is this what I really want? Why am I going after this? Is it something that I'm being told I should want? Or is it truly something I do want? And then if it is, what am I scared of? Why am I not stepping in? What is blocking me here? Or is it really, this is not mine to kind of step into, to align with? I don't really have the drive for this.
Yeah, because I think a lot of the times we want to do stuff because of what's going around, what's popular, or what our friends are doing, what we're being told to do, this or that. And so we think that we should do it. And the should is the sign.
Shitting on ourselves.
The should is the like, are you doing it because you should, that you think you should? Or or is it something that you really want? You know, come back to that lustful desire, passion.
Yeah, everyone's trying this new diet or this new exercise routine, and they're like, oh, like, I'm gonna do that, I want to do that, but it's like, no, isn't me. Really, this kind of exercise, this kind of food is more where I'm aligned.
Yeah,
kind of feel. So all that to say, start talking and walking in alignment.
The words you talk better be the words you walk. Yes, Stephen. Yes. That is exactly right. We have a few people on here who didn't say hello to you.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Steve.
Stephen, Michael, James. I'm not going to go up too far. Just doesn't want to move.
Hey, don't mess us up. Don't mess us up.
Hi, everybody that I didn't see.
Yeah.
I did that the other day. I was like, boom, and then everything went crash. I was like, oh, sorry.
Yeah, because we're coming to that, like, we're halfway through this year. Like, we don't have, it is time to put up or shut up for the rest of the year, kind of.
It kind of is.
Yeah.
Whew. I have an idea. After this, I'll tell you.
Okay. I think I heard your thought. I think I actually heard your thought. Good.
So
we're aligned.
Here. We'll see. I might like your idea better than my idea.
I think I heard your idea.
We'll see. We can write it down on paper and then we can
that could be fun.
And see if we were really aligned or not.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, both of us are guilty and doing the same thing of like kind of stepping in and really like kind of doing what we know we need to do that is aligned and really might just be a little uncomfortable, but we do need to step into. And so I'm going to invite you all to do the same thing too, and get rid of the excuses of kids and money and time, and really just look at where your priorities are.
Yeah. And ask yourself, especially if you're not happy, if you're looking at change and you're not happy with where the last year, 2 years have brought you, then ask yourself, do I want the next year or 2 years, 5 years of my life to be what this was? And that is such a life-changing question, because typically when we want change, it's because we're not happy with where we're at. So why are you not happy? And it's like, really, truly, why are you not happy? And realize that it's only a decision away to create that happiness, to create that change, but you've got to be willing to rock your own boat.
And that's more rock your own boat.
Yeah.
That's rock your own boat in here.
Yeah. Because if you're not if you're not rattling your cage, then you're definitely not growing. You're not making any changes. You're not transforming. You're not bettering yourself. You're not leveling up your life in any way. And anything between that and that is
you're
just,
dying.
Yeah. And it really is a reasons or results type thing. So you can either give all the reasons. Are you going to be on your deathbed saying, well, but I had this reason for this as to why it didn't happen. You just don't understand. You know, I have these great reasons here as to why my life didn't turn out how I wanted, why I didn't get this done or that done. Or are you going to be going, hey, this is what I did with my life. Here are the results. Here's you know, the changes I made, the people that I impacted, the person that I became. Here's the things I'm proud I have. Can you picture yourself laying there going, I really don't have any regrets. Did I do some things wrong? Yeah, but I don't regret it because I learned from it and I stepped further in and I expanded more and I took the hit and I expanded from it. I grew. Or are you going to go, man, I really regret this, I regret that? Because a lot of the times, and I love listening to like senior talks, the seniors, because they'll tell you, I mean, like, there's across the board things that people say. And a lot of it is,
I would have done
I wish I would have done more. I wish I would have loved more. I wish I would have loved deeper. I wish I would have risked more. I wish I would have played more. I wish I would have seen more of the world. I wish I wouldn't have used this and this and this as an excuse. I wish I wouldn't have worried as much. I wish I wouldn't have, you know, like all this different stuff. Like that's the things that people focus in on in their elder years. I have to open cheese. Welcome to doing lives at my house. Sharp cheddar, anybody?
Sharp cheddar.
Yes, thank you.
Let me finish your thing. And I think you can avoid that. I have like a practice of every night before I go to sleep, like really sitting there and going, okay, like, am I happy with how my day went? Like, can I say that I stepped in today and I did everything that I not wanted to do, but wanted to do in terms of like, yes, I pushed myself. Yes, I got all the stuff I wanted to get done today. And I don't make a humongous list. I have like 4 or 5 things that are like my like, I get these done.
Mm-hmm.
And just like looking at your day and not like hating on self if like sometimes that doesn't happen. Like, yes, there is life and you have to have that flow. It's not taking out the flow, but it is looking at your day and going like, did I spend too much time like just watching Netflix today, or could I make a different choice tomorrow? Like and every morning I write like, okay, like the me of 5 years, what would I be doing today? If I was living that today, how would I be showing up? What actions would I be taking? And that really can direct your boat a little bit so you don't have to get to the end of the year, get to the end of your life and go, oh, I wish I would have, could have, should have.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Yep.
Yeah.
There you go.
I feel complete.
There you go. That's what I was just going to say. I feel complete. Complete. So
we have an amazing Tantra 201 workshop coming up in not even a month. It is May 18th. It is an evening workshop. If you are in the DFW area, please come join us. It's always fun and it's always a little bit different. The energy is always beautiful and it's amazing when our Tantra workshops get together.
This is our 201 because in January we do 101 and then in spring we do a 201. So this is all about spring awakening. It's a next level one. It's a little bit more interactive than our 101. 101 is a lot more just understanding and the basics and the history and that. And then this one we get a little bit more interactive where you're really learning the practices of Tantra. And just to put a little bit of clarity on this, because I just said practices and Tantra and group, it is a PG-13 rated for language.
Yes.
Workshops,
all stay on.
And you do not need a partner because I'm just going to bring this right out here on the talk here is that guess what? Tantra is not a coupled practice.
No, it's a solo practice.
It is a solo practice first, and then it is a coupled practice if you so want it to be. It doesn't ever have to be. But true Tantra is about alignment, and about getting into that alignment with Source, with your soul, and it has nothing to do
with anybody else.
And what you'll learn in this is that, yes, sexual energy has a lot to do with it, but Tantra really only is about maybe 5 or 6% of it is actually a sexual practice, of which we're going to talk about in this class, but this really is like that 201. This is like, if you want to learn how to expand all of that cool, edgy, sexy stuff out there that everybody like, ooh, Tantra, I want to learn that. Well, this is the stuff that's going to get you the foundation so that you can fully understand those practices.
Can actually implement those practices.
It's kind of like, yeah, so I have a grandchild, so I have a baby around me again. So everything's baby, 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 baby. Well, my grandson, who is 3 weeks old, is not running through the house like my 5-year-old, right?
That would be weird.
That would be weird. That would be weird.
Because
he's a baby. He's 3 weeks old.
He can't even hold his head up.
He can't even hold his head up. So the first step to, he's getting really good at it.
Well,
actually.
he's moving, but
he can roll. But
he's not sitting up and like, hey,
he's not sitting there. But here's the thing. If we look at it from just that perspective, an infant, right, there are steps. An infant learns how to hold their head up. They learn how to then sit up. They learn how to roll. Then they learn how to sit up. Then they learn how to crawl. Then they learn how to pull up. Then they learn how to walk. And then they learn how to run. But if people tend to walk into the tantric world and they just want to learn how to run. That's what they want. They just want to learn how to run. And they don't even know how to freaking hold their head up.
Yep.
They don't hold their head up. They can't roll. They can't sit. They can't scoot. They can't crawl. They haven't learned how to pull themselves up or how to walk. But they seem to think that they can just walk in the tantric door and run.
And it's and then it becomes an empty practice.
And then it just is like, you might just, hand washing is more
more spiritual and connective. And
the point is that this is kind of like the last class was learning about your head, lifting your head and head strength and the roll. And this class is we're going to teach you how to sit up and scoot.
Now, if you didn't learn to hold your head up, then
you're going to get some basics on there. You're going to get some pieces.
You can still come.
You can still come because there's still going to be some foundational, like we're going to build some of those muscles, but it is still that beginner level. Yeah. So this is really beginner level. And I'm clarifying that because I've already gotten hit with questions about like, well, do we have to have this and what's going on here? And like,
no, yoga pants and a shirt are fine, and we're not getting all touchy-feely.
So that is our workshop, our joint workshop that is coming up May 18th for anybody in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Do you have anything that you want to announce as far as your personal stuff goes?
No. I have some stuff kind of in the making, but nothing that I'm ready to announce. We have some other stuff in the making, but we're not ready.
May is my ladies' month. So I have a lot of stuff going on that I'm not going to announce. That's coming. And it's 2 kids' birthdays in May. But since it is May and May is Mother's Day, I'm kind of just dedicating May to women. So I'm going to be you're going to see a lot of stuff coming out from me that is very focused on mothers and daughters and female energy and female relating and dating and all the practices that us ladies need, where this month, April, has really been focused on men, and I've been a lot of guy stuff. So if you're a guy, reach out to me this week because I have a lot of guy stuff going on. But May is definitely focused on ladies. So,
but I think our April 22nd, do you mean 20?
Oh, this next Saturday? Yeah, this next. I'm not gonna.
No, I meant like our month.
Oh.
So we were both chatting.
Yeah.
And we've decided to do something special, just for 1 month.
April 22nd to May 22nd.
1 month.
We're going to help you remove
the
obstacles.
Blocks.
Remove blocks.
Yeah. So everyone wants to talk about how finances are the issue for not stepping in? Well, we're going to help you remove a little bit of those blocks.
Yeah, I'm not doing everything.
No, not everything. But we are going to help you remove some of those blocks. We're going to do a end of spring free consult month.
Yeah. So
Month
today to May 22nd, I'm going to make an announcement later on my own stuff, and I'll put it on my wall and even on my website. But all consults, my consults are typically $200 for the hour. So that's the deal that you're getting from me, is that you're saving $200 to do a consult with me. So if you have been thinking about doing coaching with me, no matter where you're at in the world, then realize that I would definitely take this up, because I can't remember the last time I did free consults. I think it's probably been about 7 years since I did free consults. So this is definitely, I'm just like, you know what? Yeah, let's try this out. So we're going to go ahead and do this. we're doing it for a month.
We're doing it for a month. And so yeah, you're saving, mine isn't quite 200, but it's up there around.
Yeah, mine's $199.
150. So
there you go. So $150. So you're saving $150 to $200 for jumping in and getting a consult done this month.
So follow the energy.
There you go. That's right.
Tigger, right. Elsa.
I'll just let it go. Okay,
Tiggy. Did you just call me Tiggy?
I did.
And we're done, so I can go beat her up. No. On that note, you can find me, the normal one.
That's boring.
It is boring. I'm not normal. AddisonBell.net.
Oh.
And where can we find you, Elsa?
Oh, Elsa.net. No, just kidding.
Elsa.net. No. Oh, I would not go to that. You might not want
Don't go to Elsa.net. I don't know
you
what
might
Elsa.net is. I have no idea. That's not my website.
We are not promoting that.
I'm not promoting
we're gonna get us shut down because we're going to send people to some horrible site that...
I have to go Google it now. Where did I just tell everybody to go? No. KendallWilliams.com. So.
All right. Well, thank you all for watching. Yeah. And we'll see you in...
Are we in 2 weeks? I think
2-ish weeks.
Yeah, I remember there's one that we're kind of off.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's the next one coming up. All right, hold on. I got to move somebody out of here. They're taking up our goodbye spot. All right. There we go.
Well, bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.